Hey, so this is it, I guess. 8, 12 years of Destiny, 8 years I've played Destiny 2. It's it's really fucking heartbreaking that it's come to this for this game, because it just sucks. I I don't really know how to put it into words. So I played this game for ages and loved it, every second of it. But ever ever since Beyond Light released in 2020, this game has been on a steady decline, and it's gotten to a point where you can kind of just see the writing on the wall. But it just wasn't. I wasn't expecting it to happen. I'm gonna spend I don't know how long just ranting about this game, because the feeling I'm getting is like a pet that you've had for ages, where you think you've got maybe 2 years left with them, but then the next day it just silently fizzles out. I've met some incredible people just through this game. I've kept friends because of this game. This game has told an incredible story. It's something I can't really give up fully, and I don't want to. I but Bungie has, since 2020, have consistently refused to see the problems they've created for themselves. In 2020, we received Beyond Light, removing the first 2 years of this game's content, and people really weren't fans of it, but they also just liked Beyond Light just because it was something new. Then we got Witch Queen, which is a really nice step for the game. Then Lightfall, which had its ups and downs. The seasonal content was better than the release content, but it's like people were still just kind of hopeful. Then Final Shape dropped. Final Shape is where this game lost a lot of people, because story wise, it was the absolute finale. It was the perfect send off, really, for this game. And we got Echoes, Revenant, and Heresy. Heresy being the best this game's ever been. And then Edge of Fate dropped. Edge of Fate was a weird expansion, because story wise, I loved it. Gameplay wise, I think they kind of went too far with the dark matter stuff. And then came the Portal. The Portal wasn't it wasn't the worst idea for this game as an evolution, but the way they implemented it proved to be inexcusable for the type of content we were expecting. They Bungie's utter refusal to listen to community complaints about everything. Gambit was dead for years since 2020, because Beyond Light decided to merge Gambit Prime into normal Gambit, and it became this amalgamation of a game mode that just didn't work anymore. PvP started dying off because the game just became ability focused rather than ability and weapons just working together like how they were supposed to. And then PvE was still holding on for years. And then even Edge of Fate proved that Bungie could kill even their most loyal player base. Renegades further did that. Like, low man content has probably been the one thing keeping the game afloat, along with just raiding in general. Bungie has chosen to, during these last few updates, just kill all enjoyment in raiding, low manning. Like, you were, I think, like, one of the patches in Renegades just removed the ability to, like, full low man a good chunk of content like Riven, like Last Wish and whatnot. At least properly, anyways, like how it originally was. Especially Queen's Walk, you couldn't drop the heart anymore. Like, a lot of the fun things in this game are just impossible now. Possible to play, impossible to do because it was a bug, but this game was special. It really was. I got Thorn. I remember the Thorn quest. One of the hardest things I had ever done in a game at that point in my life. But when I finally got it done, I was elated. I love this game. I got Malfeasance. I got a lot of things done. I even wanted to start dipping into contest mode content because I was finally starting to actually want to get better at this game, like PvE wise. I was loving it. And to think the last piece of main normal raiding content for this game will be probably the worst they've dropped, despite being one of the coolest ideas they've done, is kind of insane. This game is ending off in a weird spot because they're combining some of the worst systems they've created into the old systems that worked to try and make something work, something new work. And then the portal's kind of dying. They're still keeping it in the game, just shoving it away in a corner of the destinations menu. They're still not bringing back the 2 years of content they ripped away from us, the best years of content this game has had. Like, you could talk all the shit you want about Curse of Osiris and Warmind, but, like, in the end, they were better than what we got during 2023 with Lightfall, during 2020 with Beyond Light, during 2025 with Edge of Fate and Renegades. I don't know, because it feels like this game really still had a lot to do. But with where they're ending it off, I really hope they don't give up on the IP. I hope they don't pivot into what Marathon is doing, because Marathon's even proving to be just catastrophic. Because they're not even handling that game right. Free kit only should never be in an extraction shooter. You can't. PvE only shouldn't be in an extraction shooter. You cannot do this when you've marketed yourself as a hardcore PvP game, PvEVP game. And it just sucks, man. I don't know how much more I can really reiterate on the same general point, but it's like I miss what this game was, and I'm sad I can't get to see what it really could be. I think I'll play that June update. Probably do all the content within it. Hell, they're finally bringing back Sparrow Racing League because, you know, years after, like years and years later, since the first few people started asking for it in D2, they're finally adding it once it's end of life. I mean, I'll play everything that update has got to offer. Just, I just really didn't want it to be the last. I 12 years of being in my mind, only 8 years of me actually being able to play it, because the first time I got to play the game, it wasn't even at my own house. I played D1 2014, 2015, I don't really know, on a friend of my brother's PS4. I got hooked on the game. I really did. It's sad to see what it came down to. That Bungie made this decision. And I just, I don't know. I don't know if I can really give this game up, man. It's just that fucking special. I hope to see, I really do. I really hope to see more of this franchise. I don't want it to just die whimpering on its last leg before it finally gives out once all the content of the June update gets released. I hope this franchise just doesn't die with that. Bungie, you guys can do better. You're a talented studio. You have the ability to make an amazing game. You've got lightning in a fucking bottle with this IP. But I really hope you guys just actually go through, do something with the Destiny franchise, or even try and make a new first-person shooter MMO. You guys have some, like, at least make a Destiny 3 so you don't leave us story-wise on a fucking cliffhanger. We still don't know what's next for this story, and you're doing it. And you did this. You couldn't even release one final expansion. I hope Marathon succeeds in the end. I hope you can make a D3. I hope you survive as a studio. But you guys just have been unable to see. The community has wanted you guys to fix your mistakes that you made with this game since day one, and for the most part, you were able to do that during year 2. But then year 4, you guys made a really big mistake and haven't been able to recover. Year 6, you guys dropped probably the worst expansion ever. Big expansion. And I think it's just been over since then. You've consistently refused to listen to people's cries for wanting stuff like Gambit and PvP to be fixed and actually fun again. You guys just destroyed. You kept the portal into Renegades. I understand that 6 months is kind of hard to remove a major system in a game, but you needed to do it. You needed to remove it sooner. I don't know who this video is really gonna reach. I don't know if it'll reach anyone at all. It's just kind of me throwing out the. This is just kind of me throwing out the last little bit of emotion I've got for this game. I don't want to see it go. I really don't. But I'm gonna have to. I guess all the YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, whatever. I don't know, really. It's hard.